Sometimes all it takes is one discard spell. That's, oh boy. Oh boy, gonna discard Eldrazi Conscription there with Thrill of Possibility. And now all we need, there's the Conscription. If you played in the early stages of the last decade, Mythic Conscription was a deck. You use Sovereigns of Lost Alara to get that incredibly busted enchantment onto a creature and deal a lot of damage. This is just a Tarmogoyf. Okay.
That's just a card. Don't worry about that Conscription. That's just a card type in the graveyard.
That's right.
No plan.
I'll have you know. I'll have you know. 2 card types. Tribal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 2 card types.
It's
Tribal
just,
enchantment.
It's just for Tarmogoyf.
That's right. That's all it's there for.
Game drags on for a little while. You slap that onto a treetop village, but it's mostly about Tarmogoyf.
Is this a Storm Herald maybe? Okay. Well, we'll take a look at that because this game's about to end. 3-2 haste. When Storm Herald enters the battlefield, return a number of aura cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to creatures you control. Exile those auras at the beginning of your next end step. If those auras will leave the battlefield, exile them instead of putting them anywhere else. So this is a cool hit for 13 plus the Tarmogoyf, which got smaller because the Conscription left the graveyard.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a non-bow, but I think Caleb can play through it here. Ruiz decided to play it out. Big draw step coming, and we're done.
Wasn't it? Wasn't what we were looking for, whatever it is. So, Caleb Durward is going to win game number 1 here over Matthew Ruiz as Jund Conscription is up a game here over Slivers. That's where we're at here in Richmond. We'll take a look at the sideboards. All right, 4 Chalice of the Void, 4 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Spatial Contortion, 2 Harmonic Sliver, 2 Dismember, and Dampening Sphere. I think the easiest thing to bring in here is probably Dismember.
I guess Spatial Contortion as well.
Doesn't kill everything.
Well, it's just, it kills,
It kills Storm Herald, yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill Tarmogoyf.
Probably not, no.
Probably not, no.
Yeah, but the 2 Dismembers. I think you want to just have a little bit more interaction, even if it isn't guaranteed to be effective.
All right.
But yeah, Spatial Contortion's not likely to. Good chance it doesn't work, but I'd still bring it in.
Let's go to the other side of things here. Take a look at Caleb's very diversified sideboard. I got 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Nile Spellbomb, 2 Plague Engineer, a Magus to the Moon, a Collector Oof, Ancient Grudge, Fatal Push, Kolaghan's Command, Assassin's Trophy, Liliana of the Veil, Blood Moon, which is very popular here this weekend in sideboards, and a Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
So the 2 copies of Plague Engineer stand out here against a tribal strategy. I'm into Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon in this matchup. Slivers actually gets a lot of value out of its mana base, and can't necessarily play well through Blood Moon if they don't have a Mana Fixing Sliver or an Aether Vial, and then some extra removal spells. Some of this is a little bit on the slower side. I don't know if you want to go all the way to Kolaghan's Command, but that one's justifiable, and it can answer Aether Vial. I think the Assassin's Trophy and Fatal Push are easy to bring in here.
Well, those are the options there for both players, and we'll be underway here in game number 2 in just a moment. But for some of you who are Star City Games premium subscribers, you already know this. For those of you who aren't,
hey, dummy! You got a question? Mailbag at starcitygames.com, and maybe I'll answer it. This is the look of a person who is very interested in what you have to ask. But for real, it's actually been really fun so far. I've really enjoyed been writing on the regular. People have been asking some really great questions that have provoked a lot of thought from me, and getting to put pen to paper, as it were. It's been very satisfying. And if you don't send in questions or read it, it won't exist anymore.
I'll have to cancel the column.
And then that will spill over into the booth. No one wants to see that.
That's right.
So send your questions to mailbag at starcitygames.com.
For those of you wondering at home, that graphic was approved by Patrick.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Quickly.
Easy. I'm sick of these promo photos that don't capture. I'm sick of online. I really do think that online space does suffer from everyone posting these optimal photos of themselves or them in their happiest moments. And so when you're feeling a little bit down or you're depressed and you're scrolling through your feed, you just see all these people who are smiling and looking successful, and it makes you feel worse about your state. Those photos that people are posting, 99% of them, lies. They're miserable too. Their life is also falling apart. So I like to have photos of me that as much as possible capture me in my natural state. That photo is close. Not quite there, but it's close.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a little too much. There is slightly too much emotion on my face. I'm having a hard time concealing how I feel. That part. But on the balance, I consider it to be an honest representation.
Well, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And we're happy that we can make it for you.
It's been great. I have honestly been, I've written in the past strategy articles here or there, and I enjoy doing a little bit of that, but, week in, week out, I could never do it. I don't have the reps, and in some ways, the passion for curating and iterating on deck lists, that's for the Jerry Thompsons. It's for the Brian Gottliebs, the Emma Handys. I'm just a person thinking about things. The column allows me to think about things, but out loud, to an audience, and then be paid for it, which I've really enjoyed so far.
You're a thinker of thoughts.
I believe that's trademarked by Gerard Fabiano, so I'm not looking to muscle in on his turf.
Okay, gotcha. I'm sure he's the first person that's ever said that before.
Yeah.
So that's my bad there.
But I do think about thinking about thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well,
I'm a level removed.
Well, then you can take that.
What would it be like if I were to think about this thing?
Yeah, go ahead and trademark that. That's yours now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then the person just levels up over me, and it's the price is right. Everyone underbidding each other by $1.
$1.
By the things they're thinking about.
$1, Bob.
I'm not trying to get involved in that arms race, but mailbag at starcitygames.com. Just keep this engine rolling. Let me run downhill,
Can you imagine getting called down to the Price is Right to bid on the price of the item or whatever and then not winning? I can't.
Totally.
I can't. That part of the game is so easy.
I've been invited to Magic tournaments and then have come in last. So
that part of the game is so easy. Now, once you get on stage, it gets a little harder. But I think getting closest to the price of the refrigerator or whatever just doesn't strike me as very difficult.
I have dreamed about being on the Price is Right and just opening bid on $1 and see, and just because Price is Right really does highlight how bad people are at games.
That's what I'm saying.
The optimal strategy is you should always be angle shooting, and I see this, opening bid $750, and someone goes, I don't know, $400, and it's like, you have no idea how to think about these things.
Yes.
And this has to impact other areas of your life. It is not just isolated to the Price is Right.
That is why I'm saying that once you get called down to that area, it's so, like, for
my
someone who
bid
does
would
games, you should just be in
my
there.
bid would be, I don't know, $1.
Yeah.
Do-do-do.
Yeah. And then right up there. Yeah. I just don't think it's that hard.
No.
I would before all is said and done, I would like to play a game of Plinko one time. I'd like to drop those chips and see them bounce around. I think that would be fantastic. We're underway. Is there a vial to begin? There is. As Sliver Hive will allow for the very powerful artifact to do it up. Gregory Chen he's already won the Pioneer match? Well.
Yeah. Don't mess around.
Okay. That was easy. And then Ali is up a game in Standard. Well, I guess these folks got somewhere to go. My goodness, we might be taking questions for a long time here in round number 5, which is okay with me.
Yeah. I mean, it does intrude on the mailbag sort of ideologically, but I'll indulge. Oh, yeah.
What is that one?
Sky Knight Legionnaire Sliver? I don't know what it's called.
That's not the exact name.
You tell me.
I believe it is Cloud Shredder Sliver.
Cool.
Sky Knight Legionnaire Sliver.
Let's get up on the screen.
It's dead is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cloud Shredder nailed it. 1/1 previously Sliver creatures that Matthew controlled would have flying and haste. Not anymore. All right, it's a Watery Grave tap. Pass the turn back. Let's go back over to Caleb now. I'd like to ask Justin Parnell what happened, but he might not even remember he died so fast. We're 10 minutes into the match. Their game is over. All right, let's file it in. Caleb wants to take a look. So do I. I'll give you $1 million. I'll give you $1 million if you can name that card. $1 million.
Drainage Sliver. What is it?
I believe it is Leeching Sliver.
That's not pretty close.
That's pretty close.
That's not that bad.
That's pretty close.
That's
actually.
not that bad of a guess.
There it is. You were actually really close.
Oh, wow. That's a banger.
Yeah. Vial up to 3 now. That's when they changed the sliver look to have them look more like creatures from the movie Predator.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So a couple fatal pushes, and now here's Thrill of Possibility. Discarding Eldrazi Conscription, draw 2 cards.
Nothing to see here.
Nope.
Just Tarmogoyf.
Yeah.
Just for Delirium for my Traverse the Uvenwald.
That's right. That's 2 types.
That's 2 types.
Swamp and pass the turn back. Let's go back over to Matthew Ruiz, who would like to violin a little something. All Sedgy.
And
Okay.
these points to the swamp.
That's right. Watery Grave means you can never kill this thing. Leave me alone.
Can't be killed.
What is this?
It's a Sinew Sliver.
No, that one.
I know that one.
Sedgy's going to come across here for 4, I think. All slivers have this creature gets +1/+1 as long as you control Swamp, which we do with Watery Grave, and black regenerate this creature.
Shout out to Sedge Troll, the inspiration for this design. Banger from Alpha.
Sinew Sliver is the Planar Chaos shifted version of Muscle Sliver.
It's interesting how much nostalgia there is for Kurdape and Taiga, but not the same level of nostalgia for Sedge Troll and Badlands.
That is a little strange.
1 mana helps a lot.
It does.
Makes it easier.
It does. Here's a Bloodbraid Elf.
Oh my god.
Little cascade.
Oh, he could do it. He could do it this turn.
Oh, you figured it out, huh? Oh, there's an Assassin's Trophy. I might go after that. Maybe
the Watery Grave. Well, you know, do you think there's a swamp in this deck?
I can take a little look-ski-poo. How's can our
Almost all decks that are
viewers
hubbed
know?
around creatures have some basics in them because of Path to Exile. So if you're hoping to get him here, I think it's a low probability bet. But also, who knows how much that Aether Vial is really worth at this point, and you have to consider if you're ramping Ruiz to the point where he can start activating his Sliver Hive. Lots to think about here.
we do have a swamp in the deck. Just so that you know. There it is.
Makes sense.
Now, why is Earl Powell? Okay, so Sinew Sliver.
It's regenerated, and tapped due to the game rule.
That's right.
And
now you get the swamp from the Assassin's Trophy. There you go.
And now we prepare ourselves to pivot to the Hive.
The Sliver Hive, indeed. Start cranking them out.
Yeah.
This is cranking out 3 3s. That's legit. There's a Bloodstain Mire here for Caleb. Caleb looks like he's in some trouble this game. All joking aside.
Yeah, because even a big hit with Annihilator 2 is no guarantee to really do a whole lot.
That's right. All right, Ruiz will draw. That Vial is going to stay at 3. 5 lands on the battlefield. Here come the beatdowns. It's going to be an attack for... it's looking like 6 to me, excuse me.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5... Actually, 7.
No, they're just 2/2s, and they're both lords, right? So
Sinew Sliver is a 1/1.
Oh, yeah.
Gets +1/+1
Well, it gets from the other way.
And then from Sedgy.
Coming and going.
And then Sedgy's a 2/2. Gets a +1/+1 because it has Swamp. +1/+1 from Sinew.
Classic offense, defense.
That's right. Hang with me.
Right.
This is the only thing in Magic I'm good at is combat. I'm pretty bad at every other aspect, but I can do the numbers here.
You play with a lot of lords.
You're damn right I do.
Banalish Knight.
That's all I know. It's,
Yes.
It's Marshall, by the way.
Banalish Marshall,
Thank you.
sure.
Get your Crusade Knights right. Goodness. You know anything?
I know about Sedge Troll.
You're about to learn about Storms Herald. Uh-oh. I don't know if you want me reading that right now.
Yeah, so...
Kind of got you last game.
But we're still only looking at 14 damage, right?
Well,
Spatial Contortion out of the sideboard.
you wanted that.
Wanted it.
You got it. So you need to bring in a little bit more interaction.
Gotta try. You
Yep.
know, it's not always going to work, but there should be enough targets.
You can kill Bloodbraid Elf with it too. Tarmogoyf in very particular
Very
situations.
specific.
Yeah.
Maybe after you've blocked.
I was thinking that. Yeah. So Storm Herald, not going to work. And Caleb in some trouble now.
I mean, Sedge Sliver is problematic for his deck. Shuts off a lot of the removal and also gives Ruiz a lot of control over the way that combat looks. And if he's got some interaction for Storm Herald, if he can cover himself from getting punked out, the spot is not easy for Durward to navigate through.
Also, Caleb's 7. It's not like he has a lot of life to work with either. He's going to pass the turn back with Bloodbraid Elf back on blocking duty. So the Vile's going to stay at 3. We'll head back over to Ruiz. There's a Verdant Catacombs. Going to sacrifice that right away, it appears. That'll be mana number 6. Going to get a basic forest, not a swamp. Okay. Well, swamp's already on the battlefield. I take that back. He's already gotten that. He does have 1 basic forest, 1 basic swamp in the deck. We're tapping some mana. What do we got here? That homing sliver?
Yeah, a little sliver cycling.
Okay. It's a good thing I played during Time Spiral block. Otherwise, I'd have no idea what's happening. What is okay?
Oh, that's flying in haste.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
You do the
flying,
math.
Yeah.
Sky Knight leaves nearest sliver coming in, hot and fresh.
That's right. Do a little cloud shredding. Looking to get this game over with right now. Uh-oh, Caleb has a response. Boo. Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, that's not gonna, that deals 2 to a 3.
That ain't it. That was
is
what I
not
said.
it.
That's my concern with Kolaghan's Command. This matchup is if Ruiz is doing his thing, it's not hard for him to outsize Kolaghan's Command. It's probably still good enough in enough spots, and as an answer, Aether Vial is worth bringing in, but it's not going to be a reliable 2-for-1 in this matchup.
Fair enough. We're all tied up. Caleb Durward, Matthew Ruiz, Jun's Conscription, Slivers in Modern. No more Okos and Mox Opals and Urzas, folks. We got Storm Herald and Cloud Thresher Sliver instead. They're all tied up, going to get ready for a third and final game. As we mentioned earlier, Gregory Chen, he won his match very, very quickly over Justin Parnell, Mono Red Aggro, Dispatch Simic Ramp in Pioneer. And then for John Butchko and Ali Antraizi, that's Rakdos Sacrifice against Azorius Control. They're still in game number 2. Well, Mr. Sullivan, we've already gone over your satchel,
Yeah.
which we might actually be digging into after this round.
Talk to me. What's up next?
A lot of premium to talk about, though. There you see the godfather of Commander, Sheldon Menery, Pro Tour Omnicat champion, Jerry Thompson, Rivals member and colleague, Emma Handy, and arguably the best Magic player of all time in Paulo Vitor, Dama de Rosa, who, by the way, this will surprise you, top 8 of the Pro Tour in Brussels this weekend.
Congratulations. Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Big surprise.
How about you leave a spot for someone else?
They're all content producers, content creators here for StarCityGames.com, where not only will you get their content, you'll also get 5% off sealed products, 10% off singles, 15% off of supplies. StarCityGames.com/join premium.
Was I
more info.
too abusive to the listeners last time, and that's why you cut me off of that promo?
No, not at all. I just decided
Okay.
to read it for the first time because it's new.
Okay. All right, I get the next one.
Okay.
Okay.
Never seen you
Yeah.
looking forward to doing an ad read
Yeah.
in my life.
Let's bring it back up. Let's bring it
We
back
want to
up.
do it right now?
Yeah, we can do it right now.
Okay, sure. Let's do Patrick's version of this ad read. Okay.
Well, right now you can join Star City Games Premium and get access to exclusive content on Star City Games. Many of Magic's most notable performers, strategists, and personalities, including Jerry Thompson, Paulo, Vitor Dama de Rosa, Emma Handy, and Sheldon Memory. That's where we start. You're going to want to listen to this next part, so get your finger out of your ear.
There you go.
Become a Star City Games Premium member for just $7.99 per month, and besides all those excellent columns, you receive instant access to these exclusive benefits. 5% off sealed products, 10% off singles, and 15% off supplies. So join now over at starcitygames.com/join-premium.
There you go. That's your version.
Yeah.
A little different than mine. But, it works all the same because different audiences, different strokes for different folks.
Right.
So I get it. I get it. All right. Looks like Ruiz has put a card in the bottom for his mulligan. And Caleb Durward's going to start things off with a Mishra's Bauble and sacrificing it right away to take a look at the top card of his deck. Now let's take a look at this one.
Just scoping it out.
Getting info everywhere.
Getting his hands all over the place. Fingers in a lot of pies.
Overgrown Tomb, and there's the battlefield tapped. Pass the turn back. Don't want to forget those triggers. Didn't. Draw 2 cards from those baubles. We're going to head back over to Ruiz, who has an Ether Vial. One could say the best card in his deck as we head back over to Durward. Will it survive? We'll have to see. This is a Bloodstained Mire. Caleb going to fall down to at least 19. It'll be just 19 as he gets a basic mountain off of the Rakdos fetch land.
230 Pioneer player Ken Edwards leads report to table 28382 for your match. 230 Pioneer challenge player Ken Edwards leads report to table.
Now there's Thrill of Possibility. So Eldrazi Conscription into the graveyard again.
Caleb's Tarmogoyf is just set up.
It is
so many
huge.
types.
Artifact, enchantment, tribal, land, instant. Biggest Tarmogoyf I've ever seen.
Yeah.
There's a basic forest. All right, well, you could be losing that Screeching Sliver and a whole bunch more.
Is that Flying Man Sliver?
That is. No, that's.
Sorry, Flying Men Sliver.
That's excuse me. That's Gale Rider Sliver, not Screeching Sliver. Gale Rider Sliver, and that is Flying Man Sliver. Yes.
I think it's Flying Men.
Flying Men then. Collective Brew. Pass the turn back. Oh. Little Vial? Well, that's a red one. I'm pretty sure that's that's Striking Sliver. It's got to be.
Does Striking Sliver have first strike?
I'm going to guess first strike. Really testing our knowledge. We'll see if intern Rob can bring it up. That's Unsettled Mariner. Beatdowns. Ha-ha! Yes. That really does just look like something from the movie Predator. All right. Gonna do a little haggle here.
More types.
Yeah. On an adventure. Discard and draw. Goodbye Stomping Ground. There we go.
Caleb's deck, for you old school heads out there, real heads know this reference.
Okay.
Got a little bit of a Draco Explosion vibe to it, where you do the combo and then you play on.
Sure. I do know that. I do know that reference. Deal 16.
Yeah, it's just like
Your turn.
And now you're at 4.
Yeah.
We play on.
I'll figure the rest out later.
Yeah.
You were supposed to take 4 from City of Brass.
Yeah. How many times have you tapped your Yavimaya Coast?
Mhm. Caleb does have Bloodbraid Elf in hand. Let's see what this is going to be, though. It's going to be another Collective Brutality.
And paying the extra mana.
To take care of the Unsettled Mariner. So goodbye. We're going to head back over to Matthew Ruiz, whose vial is still on 2. All right, there's Flying Men Sliver. It's another copy of Gale Rider. And now, that's going to be Predatory Sliver through the vial, but we're going to have a response to the vial activation, it appears.
Gang's all here.
Yep. All right, Predatory Sliver's in. I smell a removal spell. All right, Fatal Push, take care of that.
You can see there was at least some conversation there between Caleb and his teammate Justin Parnell about what to target. Suggests to me that Caleb's hand's probably a little bit stocked with creatures, if it's even close to considering killing the Gale Rider Sliver.
Here's Bloodbraid Elf, looking to spike a Storm Herald. Well,
ding, 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 ding. Not quite a Storm Herald, but this will do just fine.
that's going to be blowing up a vial and killing a Gale Rider Sliver is that Kolaghan's command. So that's quite the hit. Now Bloodbraid Elf is going to get busy on offense. And now it's 14-17. Caleb behind in the life total, but that might be the only thing he's behind on this game.
Yeah, that was a classic Jund. What do we want to call that?
That was a Junding. I'm going to call it that. A classic Jund 2-ish for 1.
No, because the 3/2 is a card.
That's true.
And Ruiz is down 2 cards that he elected to put in his deck and spent mana on.
That's also true. I leave that to you to put the cool terminology on. What I do know is it was a good turn. That's what I can tell you. Looks like a Mana West Sliver there. That's a Gemhide Slivers 5 and 6. There's a Storm here. Oh, boy. Well.
It's a lot coming in right now.
Yep.
And I think Durward's one of his last cards in hand, I believe, is Fatal Push. So, you know.
Storm Herald's going to wear an Eldrazi Conscription here in just a bit. Maybe Nick Miller's going to have a little chit-chat with Caleb in the old sideboard about this deck because this is a hoot. This combo deals a lot of damage. And it kills 2 permanents, too, which is relevant. Makes them sacrifice, too.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, your best draws, ideally, you know, you're kind of catching everything or nearly everything. And it's not just... You don't just have to have it on turn 3.
Yeah.
You can also just pick a spot down the line. It's not like it gets worse.
Yep. Now, you do have to go through a little bit of work to get Eldrazi Conscription into the graveyard. That's not the easiest thing to do.
That's why you got to lean into the types.
Yes.
That's why you need Tarmogoyf
here.
And Traverse the Uvenwald.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of types, good spread of types.
Little Delirium. Oh. So we're asking about if I kill Storm Herald in response to the trigger, what happens? Is what Matt Ruiz would like to know. Well, it looks like the answer to that question is not much. So Bloodbraid Elf is going to wear the Eldrazi Conscription before blocks. Fatal Push there. Assassin's Trophy is left over in hand. That's a Dismember. So you're going to take 4, go down to 13.
Yeah, I think the issue here is that with 2 creatures, Durward can just announce the trigger, and then it resolves and he puts on whatever he wants to put it on.
That's correct.
So you can only break it up with a removal spell if Durward's on exactly the 1 creature.
Mm-hmm.
And so there you go.
Caleb Durward's going to win his match for his team over Matthew Ruiz. So Jund Conscription and Slivers is over. It means we head on down to our standard match between Ali Antraizi, a former invitational winner here on the S. Okay.
Looking good.
You think? Antraizi's coming across the finish line with all these Dream Trawlers, and I have to imagine that this game is over. Yeah, this game and match is over. Yeah, Ali just won, so we got to see the finishing blow with not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of Dream Trawler. So